Greetings, everyone. I'm Eric with Your Essential Practice. I would love to thank every single one of you for clicking on these videos and just an enormous sense of heartfelt gratitude for sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I know this is right at the beginning of the video, but yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for every one of you out there for clicking on this video. If you'd like a personal rune reading from me or any of the rune sets or jewelry or palm stones or like keychain styles that you see on the set, or want a custom order, please check out the shop at youressentialpractice.com. Link is down below, or you can message me through any of the socials. Link is down in the descriptions as well. We have a relatively calm week getting into this week. A lot of transitions from and with a lot of that Gemini Aries kind of energy from last week, and moving into kind of a more calm, more lull this week, and then it'll pick up pace again next week. So there's some good news, a little bit of silver lining there. No extra information for the astrology down in the description box for this week. So let's jump right on into your divinely guided rune reading.
Greetings, Taurus, and welcome to your divinely guided rune reading for the week. I've already cleansed the energetic space and shuffled and meditated on your runes. And at the very end, we'll get a Soul's Journey Oracle deck card for clarity. So stay tuned to the very end for that. All right, so let's jump right on in. In your past energies, recent past energies here is Augies. You've been moving a lot in faith, maybe in a defensive way. This is the antlers of the elk for Augies here in this elk rune. This is here where you've had to be grounded and rooted in your defense. The antlers are the built-in divine defense that you have innately. This is why this is moving in a lot of your faith. And when you're in your defense, you are kind of acting in faith, whether it's ego-based or not. And so in this aspect is kind of your divine connection too. So aspects of your divine connection being either challenged or either that or growing. So Augies is a very beautiful rune. This is one of the most powerful protective runes out there. And it's like saying that probably you've had to be a little defensive here recently. That's my intuition. That's what it's telling me here, Taurus. So in your now energy here, you have Lagus. Lagus is the divine feminine's rune. This is, it means lake, sea, flow, water, right? Scrying with water, or dowsing with water. This is the divine feminine's healing rune. In healing, like intuition, divine connection here, and also the connection with the water, right? That divine connection, that source, that life-giving primordial energy that the divine feminine has, that supreme type of connection, the innate wisdom and divine connection with one and everything that water is, right? So the divine feminine here is a lot of balancing aspects of emotions and intuitions and the intangible, but you can see it's there, but you have a hard time shaping it unless you're pouring it into something, right? So that's always a little tricky because our egos kind of get caught in our way, if you follow me. In your upcoming energies here, in your very near energies, the Upper Kana, the Birch Rune. This is the birth, beginnings, kind of like the Empress card in tarot. This is being able to begin multitudes of different things. You have the know-how and the ability to nourish whatever it is that you start. And you just have this innate knowing and this ability to nourish, like a mother's love type of energy to whatever this is that you're beginning, whether it's a project or a new thought, a new process, a new life chapter, a new business, a new relationship, a literal birth or pregnancy. So without knowing your exact question, take it how it resonates and leave what doesn't. If you'd like a one-on-one rune reading here with me, I will ask specific questions and we will get super detailed in your rune readings. So, Berkana, the birch rune here in your energetic near future here. So this is beautiful, coming from that faith, healing yourself in your divine feminine, balancing those emotions and moving on to new beginnings is a good way to kind of piece it together and look at this reading so far here, Taurus. So let's get a rune for the energetic influences of the now. To be grounded, yeah. Maybe needing that sense of stability, searching for that sense of stability, maybe having a health kind of concern here recently with the anxiety, stress levels, or hormones even getting fluctuated here. Even with the changing of seasons, can mess, or not really mess with, but change our hormones. So definitely listen to your body, pay attention out there to what your doctors are saying, right? Or your healthcare professionals, right? So this is Uruz, the rune of natural vitality, grounding, abundance, that sort of abundance kind of energy. You have this natural abundance of vitality, sort of energy influence here. So this might be something like, oh, I might need to want to lose a couple pounds, or maybe just have like a health scare where your professional's kind of scolding you a little bit, or you need to quit a very bad habit, uh, or maybe just want to challenge yourself, which is good and healthy too. To challenge yourself, routine is actually quite deadly. So this is interesting to see that you want to be grounded. You have this influence of being grounded. You're in this beautiful nurturing, wanting to nurture and being stable and in divine flow, being present kind of energies. Now, Urus, it can be a little slow to start off with, but still seeing how grounded this is still from your faith with Augies here, right? And it's still a little slow to get going, but it has almost like a downward hill momentum to it. As it picks up momentum, it wants to keep going, kind of like the river rushing down a mountainside, right? At different parts, it'll be more steep, right? The water will want to rush faster. So here in your advice for the now energies, this is a novice. Novice, it sounds a lot like now this. So you're going down this path, and now this log is blocking your path. It's a need, constraint, limitation, like you're going down this river with your flow of emotions, picking up the pace. But before you get all gung-ho and caught up with the currents, still pay attention to your surroundings, because something could be blocking your path, a need, a constraint, a limitation, something like devil's in the details is the intuitive hit that I got. Make sure your I's are crossed, your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. Yeah, that's the right saying. So also reevaluating yourself, really. What are your perceived needs versus wants? Right? Your perceived wants versus needs, perceived limitations, perceived constraints, right? The fool didn't know it was impossible, so the fool went out and did it. Beautiful stuff. What do you have to look forward to in your outcome? Yeah, being able to really weather this. This is indicative of the U branch, YEW, from like the ash tree, from Yggdrasil, the tree of life, right? So this is Awas, excuse me. And this is saying that if we're flexing too much, our branches can snap and we can get frozen like this rune Isa, repeating life lessons, rigid, and going back down the tree of life, needing to go back to where we feel more grounded and sensible, and we can pick up that momentum again. Okay. Or if we flex too much, same thing happens, right? So when we do flex a good amount and weather the storms, that you can kind of turn this into where it almost looks like Sawilo, the sun rune, where it thaws out the ice and it becomes more of that abundance type of energy, more of that natural vitality, kind of echoing through that as well, where you are learning how to balance a lot of these in stride. You're kind of like learning the balance of your health, your balance of your emotional health, balance of your mental health, and being able to nurture yourself, the like learning what self-love really means, in a non-conceited, non-ego based way, right? Being able to begin really caring for yourself. Instead of being defensive, you can be proactive a little bit more about yourself. I really think this is the message here for you, Taurus. But let's get a card of clarity here from the Soul's Journey Oracle deck for a little bit more information. These are messages straight from Source, straight from Divine, directly to your spirit, directly to your soul. Excuse me. So, Source, please show us what message of clarity does Taurus need to hear today for today's divinely guided rune reading for this week. This week's energy, not a lot happening in the astrology department. That's a lot of cards. Let's please get one card. Divine Source, please show us clearly what message of clarity do you have for Taurus today. Weathering the storm, right? They get to be able to weather the storms a lot better through balancing these needs, constraints, limitations. A lot of that fuddy-duddy, like mental fog, I think, is going to kind of clear away and get flushed away with these waters here. Doubt says, I release the need to know all of the answers. Yeah, you need to waste your time figuring out why, or you have to focus on being defensive. You hold your ground and get with yourself, get right with yourself, and start your own flow, be your own boss, balance your own needs, constraints, limitations, be able to weather out this whatever funkiness that's going on in your life right now, Taurus, and be able to nurture your life in more healthy ways and moving forward. So let's read a bit more about this doubt card. All right. If I could learn how to spell and look up the word, that would be great. Doubt says, again, I release the need to know all of the answers. It's impossible for the human brain to comprehend the mysteries of the universe. You are only consciously aware of the three dimensions for a reason, and that is to learn to love the full awareness of your connection to spirit. Everyone has his or her own personal path to his awareness, and there is no right or wrong answer as long as your goal is to manifest the energy of love and compassion. The wisdom of the divine trickles into the physical dimension, and some of it will resonate with your soul and some will not. These are your signposts that you will see that'll guide you to your correct path. If the wisdom resonates with you and seems right, then keep it. If not, then send it back to the universe, and always be aware and mindful of the insights that your spirit guides and teachers put on your path. Right? If you don't feel it's resonating with you, send it back to the universe, ask for clarification. That's quite all right. You don't need this doubt. You don't need doubt, for you already know. Right? Beautiful stuff here, Taurus. Namaste. Have a blessed and abundant week.